Welcome to the Purpose Pursuit Podcast, where faith meets real life and women rise in purpose on purpose. And guess what? I'm your host, Aimee Nelson, speaker, coach, and founder of the Purpose Pursuit Collective. But more than that, I'm a woman who's walked through loss, led through transition, and learned what it means to surrender, rise, and become her, the woman God always intended me to be. And here, we're going to talk all things faith, leadership, healing, identity, and the power of becoming. This is your safe space to breathe deep, lean in, and grow. So whether you're in the middle of a shift or just hungry for more, you belong here. So come on, join me. Let's rise together as we pursue purpose. See you in the room. Hey, and welcome back to the Purpose Pursuit Collective Podcast. I'm your host, Aimee Nelson, and this is your space. It's created for high-achieving, faith-filled women who are navigating transition, seeking clarity, and ready to fully walk in the purpose that God has placed within them. Hey, whether you're leading in business, ministry, motherhood, or perhaps you're in all three, this podcast is for the woman who looks strong on the outside, but knows there's so much more for her on the inside. You're called, you're gifted, you're anointed, and maybe even a little tired. I get that part. But sis, guess what? You're not done yet. So here inside the collective, we hold space for women just like you, women who are done with the striving, women who are ready to stop hiding and ready to step into everything that God has called to them, to leave comfort behind so that you can walk worthy of the calling that God has placed inside of you. We talk faith, leadership, calling, surrender, and stretch, because the truth is purpose doesn't come easy, but it always comes with God. Right? That's something I want you to remember. Purpose doesn't come easy, but it always comes with God. And today's episode, listen, you're going to enjoy it, ladies, because like I always tell you, before I bring it here, God's already brought it to me on the inside. It's for the woman who's done doing all the right things. You know, she's seen it. She's been doing everything right, but yet and still you feel like you're running on empty, like I'm striving, I'm building, but why am I not seeing the result? So today we're going to talk about it. And the title is When Striving Ceases, the Truth About Surrender. Let's dive in. I don't know about you all, but there comes a moment where the striving just breaks, right? Where the wrestling really just wears you out, where the struggle no longer feels holy. It just feels heavy. Like, God, I'm doing this, but why is this feel like drudgery? There's a weight to it. And that's the moment. That's the sacred threshold, the place where you stop trying to fix it in your own strength and let God be God. I'm telling you, it's where your heart finally cries, God, I can't. You can, so I surrender. That's not a weakness. I want to encourage you, ladies, for the woman that's hearing me, that you've been in that place, understand that does not mean that you're weak. That's wisdom. That's a place of worship. Because God never called you or never called me to strive. He never called us to strive our way to purpose. He called you and me to trust him with it, right? Striving is man's way, but stretching is God's way. Isaiah 54:2 says, enlarge the place of your tent. Stretch your tent curtains wide. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords. Strengthen your stakes. This is holy expansion. I don't know if you see it or not. It's holy expansion. It's not chasing. It's not grinding. It's not burning out, but stretching into what God is building. I've shared with so many women over the years that as you serve in ministry or you serve in the place where God is calling you, you may get tired in the work. You should never get tired of the work. The moment we feel like we're getting tired of the work, that's the place where now we have to recognize that we're running through the power of us, not the power of him, right? You see, you can't stretch and strive at the same time. Striving says I have to do this in my own way, my own strength. Stretching says I trust you, God, to enlarge what only you can, right? God build only what you can. In ministry, especially those of us who are leaders and are visionaries, oftentimes we can build something and okay and say, okay, God, I just built this. I need you to blow it, blow on it, bless it, and do it. But I've come to learn over the years that what God has shown me is that oftentimes I need to step back, see where He is working, and get on board with where He's moving, where the Holy Spirit is functioning, where it's flourishing, and catch up with Him, because that's where the power is. I always have to circle in and bring a Bible character in here. Let's talk about Moses. He didn't step into leadership by chasing a platform. He was called out of hiding. He tried to talk God out of using him. I can't speak. Who am I to lead? Send somebody else. I don't know about you ladies, but I have found myself saying each of those at different times in my life. Surely, God, you've gotten it wrong. You can't be asking me to do that. But God wasn't asking Moses to perform. He was asking him to surrender. He was asking him to stretch. Exodus 14:16, God says, stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water. Sis, the miracle didn't happen until Moses stretched. When Moses let go of his excuses and his striving, God used what was already in his hand and made a way where there was no way. That same God, he's still moving like that. He's still asking you to stretch, to trust, to surrender. Here's the truth. Surrender is not quitting. It's giving over. You're not giving up your faith. You're giving God your burdens. You're no longer saying, God bless what I built. You're saying, God build what you bless. Build what you've already breathed on and put me in alignment with it. And that shift, that's where peace enters in. That's where control leaves. That's where his strength becomes your strategy. And no longer feels like I got to hustle and I got to make this connection. I got to be to this next networking meeting. Because when you're in the vein of where God wants you, it's not about you networking. It's about you submitting and going into the rooms that God leads you into. And that shift, that's where peace abounds. So today, let your posture shift. I want you to be able to say, you know what? God, my hands are up. My heart is open. Striving is down, but stretching is up. I can't, but God, I know that you can. I'm in a season of that myself, ladies, as I see God calling me to do different things in this season of my life. He's showing me so much with the ministry that I lead, where I get the opportunity and I have the honor and the privilege to steward and shepherd the lives of teen and single moms. Oftentimes, I've thought so many times, as a matter of fact, that the ministry was going to look like this, or the ministry surely was going to go in that direction. And that's why I felt God, when I actually looked, it's like, hey, wait a minute, that's not going the way I thought it was going to go at all. And oftentimes I tried to resist that because it didn't look like what I thought. But when I released control, I fell back, opened my hands, saw where God was moving and got on board. He's done some amazing things, not just in the ministry, but in the lives of the moms that we serve. He's done some amazing things in me, raising me up as a leader, as a person to be able to, as a woman to be able to speak in certain arenas that I never thought I'd be able to lend a voice to. But nevertheless, there I am, sharing, speaking, unpacking. This past week, I had the opportunity to attend the graduation of one of our young moms. I've known her for such a long time, and she is an incredible mother. But I'm sure, because her and I've spoken about it, her becoming a mom at a young age, that's not what she expected. And in her mind, I'm sure she never thought she would see what took place a couple of days ago, where she walked across the stage with her bachelor's degree. Come on, y'all. She did it. And it wasn't until she recognized that God has purpose in everything that I'm doing. When she got in community and recognized her life may not look like the way she thought it was going to look, it may not have went the way she thought it was going to go, but it went exactly the way God was letting it go. Come on. He brought purpose out of all of it. She didn't quit. She kept getting up. She kept showing up. She has an amazing family, a great community, and God's doing something extraordinary in her life. As a matter of fact, she said to me, Miss Aimee, I want to come back and I want to mentor another young mom. That's it right there. That's what it's all about. When we surrender, let go, and recognize that we don't control the outcome. But if we can trust God to take every bit of our lives, every story, every page, even the ones that we didn't expect to be in our book, and let Him author it, it's an amazing story. It's a story of redemption. It's a story of reconciliation, power, and purpose. I had the opportunity to witness it this week as God showed up in her life. So I want to encourage you. Don't think that you have to strive. Don't think that you have to run hard after everything and that everything, every outcome depends on you. It depends on the God that you serve. Your job is just to be obedient, to walk in the rooms and go on the path that He sends you on. Listen, I don't know what you've been carrying, but I do know this. You weren't built to carry it all. You were built to trust, to yield, to stretch in faith. God, I can't. You can. I surrender. Let that be your anthem today. Let that be your alignment. Let that be your freedom cry. Come on, y'all. Let that be a declaration that you can say, God, I can't. You can. And I surrender. And you know, when we can't, God steps in. Daryl used to have this thing where he used to say, at the end of self is the beginning of God. And it's so true. I found that when I let go and I stopped trying to control things, I stopped trying to be control and carry, and decide that I'm going to trust, He blows my mind with the outcome. So let that be our declaration for all of us this week. Now, you know, we can't close this episode without our purpose pick. I always want to leave you with that. And this week, I can tell you this song literally has been on repeat. I know that my son is probably so tired of hearing it when he gets in the car with me because it's playing. And it's the song Bless God by Brooke Ligertwood. I pray that I'm saying her name correct. And y'all, my God, I pray it ministers to you the very same way that it's ministered to me. Put it on repeat. Let it soak into your spirit. Let it be the sound of your surrender. Bless God in every season. And the one where you can see it and the one where you can't. The one where you're not controlling it, but you bless Him in the season where you're going to say, I lay it all down. You don't have to have it all together. God is holding you together. So if this episode blessed you, if it encouraged you, let me know. Let our team know. I want to hear from you. Hey, let me ask you, what is God stretching in you this season? Not just what is He stretching in you. Where do you feel He's stretching you? Calling you up higher, asking you to trust and let go. I want to hear about it. Go ahead, feel free. You can email me directly at aimee@nelson.com. Go ahead, send me that message. I want to hear about it. I want to hear from you. And what I want to say to you today is, let's keep walking together, one foot in front of the other, rising and stepping into everything that God has for us. And remember this, if you still have breath, you still have purpose. You still have a promise, and God is still fighting for you. So sis, keep getting up, keep showing up, and remember, you don't have to strive. You just have to stretch. So thanks for tuning in to the Purpose Pursuit Podcast. I pray today's conversation stirred your heart and stretched your faith and reminded you that you are not alone on this journey. If this episode blessed you, would you take a moment to subscribe, rate, and share it with another woman who's ready to rise? Let's spread hope one purpose-driven step at a time. And don't forget, the becoming is just as holy as the breakthrough. Keep showing up and keep surrendering because God's not done with your story yet. I'll see you next time, right here where we will pursue purpose together as we step into this journey. I'll see you on the other side, ladies.